Finally, the internet came on. Good morning. Welcome. You are in the Success Secrets for Business, Family, and Life channel. I am Vicki Helm. This is the Coffee Break Show. I'm so glad you joined us. This is brought to you by the Redefining Digital Network. Listen, the Coffee Break Show goes live Monday through Friday, and we share tips, tools, techniques, information, inspiration, motivation. We talk about the things that are going to help you create thrivability in your life. And if you're new here, welcome. Put your name down below. We want to know you, see you, like you, meet you. And if you're also one of the fans that comes on every single day, whether you're on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, wherever you are, welcome. Thank you for listening to the podcast. And if you are in one of our vlog groups, where it's Facebook or in wherever you are in LinkedIn and, YouTube or wherever you are, good morning. And it is the last week of the season for this year. And I see you guys popping on. Do me a favor, put your name and say good morning out there. And today I want to talk about something that's really important for me. And that's how to make 2021 the best year ever. And for a lot of people right now, they're not feeling very merry. They're feeling scared. They're feeling like they don't know what to do. They're feeling as though things are falling apart. And then some people are, enjoying the holiday season, and then those things are good for them. And they're all, there and happy with their family and things like that. But we are feeling a new world developing. And this is the thing I want to talk about. How can you make 2021 the best year ever? And we talked about yesterday that for 2021, resolutions, they're probably not going to work. They usually don't work, but plans work. And when we take a look at planning, we can plan fun stuff. We can plan good stuff. We can plan things that are going to help us create a new world, a new life, and have more prosperity. So I want to tell you something. A lot of times we talk about what's wrong with 2020, not what's right with it. We don't understand how much prosperity is being made right now. And it's huge. There's so much prosperity in the world right now. And I want to talk about that today. I want to have everybody at least say, okay, 2021 is my year to create prosperity. And this means that it's not one or the other, but it's the combination of the past and the new. And it's rolling in together. And we're going to talk about those things. Because as we create with technology, we also create possibilities. We create industries, we create new careers, we create all these things that are happening. I know that we've lost a lot of careers right now. I know that they're absolutely being splattered. But no time in history has been better to be an entrepreneur than right now. Why? Because technology has made that process easier. We talked in the last show, which was yesterday, about how these jobs have been shrinking, because more than ever, we now know that we have entrepreneurship that is growing. And those people who are willing to take advantage of that are going to prosper over the next decade like, wow, they can't even believe. The thing about entrepreneurship now is that it's not about you working yourself to death. It's about you creating cash flows and managing those cash flows or those business incomes as you would a job, and at less hours per week in your own home, being with your own family, not having to travel or spend a boatload of money on business suits or having to get that car oil changed and fixed and tuned up every so 1,000 miles because you're keep going back and forth to work. It's about letting go of bus passes and e-passes and toll booths and things like that, and having a life that you manage under your circumstances that empower you. And let's talk about some of those things today. And I think I want to shed light I just want to shed light on the fact that this shift is going to happen, and how can you make good decisions during that time. I just want to say good morning, Susie. Nice to have you on, my friend. Proud of your alliteration. Thank you very much. I want to be just like you when I grow up. I'm not sure what happened over there, but terrific Tuesday. Welcome for everyone. This right here, no New Year resolutions. Yes, to 2021 plan. Now, everybody somehow thinks that the technology that is being implemented right now for 2021 in the year future are all going to take away jobs. So for some reason, people think that something is going to happen that is going to hurt them in some way. But right now, I want to tell you about even some new investments coming up. So everybody is worried about the driverless truck drivers because they'll all be unemployed. They'll all be gone. All these truck driving jobs will be gone, and all these trucks that are absolutely going to be driven by technology and not by a person is going to be working. And that's how it is. But when truck drivers first started, a lot of guys came out and they bought their truck. This was their truck and it became their business. And hauling stuff from point A to point B, point A to point B, that was their life. But what if they could purchase a truck that was driverless and have the job be done, the same job that they did with the same income coming in, except instead of driving the truck, the truck drove itself for them? Can you see how this would be the same business, but taking you out of the place of having to go those long hours of being, and how much faster it would be, because we wouldn't actually have to pull over at night and sleep. What if you could be at home and your truck do the work for you? What if that happened? Well, that's an option of entrepreneurship. It's an option of entrepreneurship that is happening right now that is replacing the worker. So the worker has to stop being the worker and become the business owner. And that business owner doesn't mean you have to give up the industry you're at. It means you may have to implement the technology that is there. This is really what's here for me. Yay for that. Not working the self into unhealth, instead being more in control of your time, energy, etc. So right now, people who own their homes in different places, they're not worried about smart houses. They just put their home up on on Airbnb, and they let that happen. And the driverless car, what if you buy a driverless car and it does all the Uber work for you, and then just kind of parks in your driveway when you're done, or opens the garage and snuggles itself right into your garage and closes? We get to the point where we're so afraid of the future because we see the future as something that's going to take over our lives, strip us of our freedoms. We don't understand how it is giving us freedom, freedom is shifting. It's not going away, but it is reorganizing itself so that it empowers the individual. And when it empowers the individual, that means that from 2021 moving forward in that era, there are places in your life where you can create income streams without having to work it. Just like a guy purchases a factory and he puts robotics in it, and then he goes ahead and makes his product and it goes through the robotic stage. Then he puts it on a truck and it goes out from there. He has his own cash flow. He has empowered himself to do that. And that's a lot of what's going to happening. So I want to say 3D printing. 3D printing is another thing. Here we make this thing with 3D printing, and manufacturing is going to be something that you can start in your garage. You can have a manufacturing business that makes tools or makes whatever that you want to do, even if you sell them locally. My point in saying that is, jobs are going away, not opportunities are going away. Jobs may be going away, but prosperity isn't going away. If you have a job right now and it's going to be outsourced by maybe a smart contract, like maybe you're a title person or a paralegal or something that is going to be, the contract is going to be done by blockchain. Wouldn't it make sense to learn about these businesses now so you could take advantage of them then? We have to change how we think about the future so that we can go ahead and understand how many opportunities, how much freedom you can have, how much you can build into your life right now that has been sucked out of you. Like, the life has been sucked out of you. So your Uber car is working for you all day long. You can work it for as long as you want, whether it's 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, all night long, it doesn't matter. And there can be a trucking company just the same way. And while you're bike riding with your family and your kids in a local park before you go home and have lunch, well, all you see is that you have some opportunities to do things different. Now, I know that I'm making it look like this really great future. I think there's going to be tumultuousness as we learn how to go into that future looking at it differently. But here's what we must do. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust yourself to discern what's going to be good for you and what isn't going to be good for you. So, for example, let's go to the past and bring it up to the future. In the past, the only way that you could get a book published was if you had a publisher. And you had to go through this process of writing these letters to these publishers. And it wasn't until self-publishing came along that suddenly the average person could actually get a book out and not have to go through these big publishers. It broke the door down so that you could go through this to this next level. Then what broke the door down more is when Amazon decided to create distribution. I don't care how big the publishing companies are. They all go, the big six or the big eight, they all go to Amazon. Every single Simon & Schuster, Wiley, Random House, all of the big publishers now know that the distribution channel is always going to be Amazon. Yes, there are a few bookstores, but can we even get in bookstores right now? So what's the biggest platform you can be a part of that can sell your books? Amazon. So they created KDP. KDP allowed you not to just have an ebook, but have an audio book. It allows you to have a Kindle, a hardback, a hardcover, a paperback, whatever you want. So what happened is publishing suddenly became individual. You could have a publishing company of your own and not worry about these big things. That same template is unfolding right now that empowers you to write the books that you want. Can you have a publisher? I do. I have a publisher, but I am very aware of the type of publisher I want. I want a publisher that doesn't want to own me or control me. I want a publisher that partners with me. And now, because I can either do it myself or do it with a publisher, publishing in itself is swapped. So companies like the Publishing Circle or Morgan James are leading the publishing industry now as it has a metamorphose. And I want to pop over here because I see y'all doing this. Let's see. Wow, a lot of conversation. Wow, so sorry. Let's see. Thank you for the book. One of my books out there, Get Your Shift Together. That's a success ebook. It's one of the best out there, in my opinion. Yay for that, not working to yourself to unhealth. Hey, good morning, MJ. Always nice to see you, my friend. Let's see. The truck drivers may be displaced, just like the Uber taxi drivers are going to be displaced. But business ownership is going to be the thing that everybody is going to be more benefited from. That doesn't have to be a someday thing. We can do that now. That's That's true. Brilliant pivot point. They can buy the truck and it would be more efficient. Yes, they can do that. They can work regular hours. Things would get to us faster. There's a lot of possibilities that are happening in the future, but they require that we take ourselves on and become empowered to do so. Progress. Remember that people once thought the light bulb, cars, etc. weren't a good thing because it was progress. And we're in that shift right now. And this progress is not all bad. You get to choose that. Just like when all shifted from doing paperwork in whatever industry you were in, we transitioned to computer data entry. That's correct. This is the same kind of thing here, and it made it quicker, faster, easier. It made it so that data entry was something that you could have done with ease. One of the games Vicki and I like to play is What If game. But instead of thinking about all the things that could go wrong, we think about all the things lining up to the best ever. Yes, that's true. And that's why you have to look at your what if. Whatever you believe about the future, whether you believe it's going to be this horrible thing and things are going to blow up and there's going to be civil war and there's going to be all kinds of whatever, that's what's probably going to unfold for you. But if you think about prosperity and you believe that you can be prosperous in the future and you create that prosperity, yes, it's going to happen. Eventually, you are going to be incredibly prosperous. Yes, I remember when I kept paper files with my computer files because I didn't trust computers. I remember those days too. Everybody did that. That's so interesting. I don't see you, but hi, MJ. Yes, MJ was here. She said hello. She put it's in a link there. Hey, Susie, it's always nice to see you, my friend. I'm glad you joined us today. Do you think the groups will be traveling overseas and in America? Do you think the groups will be traveling overseas and in America? Any thoughts on travel? You know, it's interesting. One of the things that I see happening right now, and I actually have an expert coming on in January that you're not going to want to miss, Susie, really important to you. We are becoming global citizens. We're becoming global citizens. And it is we, the people around the world, that are going to continue with travel, because there is something innately within us that enjoys going to other places and seeing their culture, seeing what they eat and how they live and how they dance and what art forms they have. We love that. We just love it. We also have, Susie, I want to tell you, one of the biggest things that's going to happen is bike packing tours. And that means people who are on bikes. There's one in that goes around 4 countries. I think you and I have talked about it, but it's the bike route goes through 4 countries and it's in Eastern Europe. And you stay at bed and breakfast. You ride like 15 to 20 miles a day to a new bed and breakfast. Then in the morning, you ride the next 15, 20 miles, and it goes around in there. But bike packing has gotten huge in the world. So travel also, I know for me, travel's on the table. I just know for me, and I think that's not going away. I think the kinds of travel, like we may see different forms of travel coming up, like, families on boats are big. But travel, I think, is going to be an industry where everybody wants to be around sometime, because, everybody wants to see the world. Everybody wants to go places and have the adventure of exploring other cultures, other things. So I think that's always going to be around. Let's see what's here. That's so brilliant. Have the car work for you, not displace you. Yes, that's really a big thing. That's what's coming up here. Have the car work for you, not displace you. That's so important. Let's see, Robin, that is the perspective to have in all aspects of life. That is one of the many factors you are healthy and flexible in this brave new world. Yes, I want to concentrate on what is actually happening that is helping the future grow.
like they're farming technologies that are going to help us manage food differently because the blockchain is going to be there. It's a amazing future world. There are probably more people, massively more people who are out there right now doing that conscious business so that they can make the world easier, more relatable, more interconnected world to work with. We are becoming a globe of citizens. And I actually quite like that. That would require a total mindset shift. Yes. Everything about this is the total mindset shift. And when we want to hang on to our past thoughts, we can sabotage ourselves. We can sabotage ourselves into thinking that how to make the 2021 the best year ever is to shift your mindset and look at your possibilities. Don't make a plan on the past. Remember Don Gifford, he said, those people that invest in the past are going to lose. Those people who invest in the future, those are the people who are going to win. The future always unfolds. It just always unfolds. And yes, we're going to have some bumps like in the future. We're going to have some economic bumps. We're going to have bumps that are based on watching the past crumble. But what rises up from the ashes is going to be glorious. And will we have some stuff that rises up from the ashes that's not too cool? Yes. But if we're paying attention, we have discernment and we avoid them. Remember Tamara McCleary this year, the CEO of Thulium, when she was on the Coffee Break show, she said, AI is coming, but you need AI to do good, not AI to do bad. Is there going to be AI that does bad? Yes, because there's bad actors in the world. It's not the AI. It's like AI is like a gun, and a gun it can be used for good and it could be used for bad. It's not the gun that's bad. It's not the gun that's good. It's the person holding the gun that's bad or good. AI is the same way. It's like, is this person nefarious or is this person somebody who's absolutely wanting to better the world? And we're going to see a lot of that unfold, and we'll have to manage through that. But the more you empower yourself, the more that you actually can make your 2021 the year where you are empowering yourself and empowering your freedoms in as many ways as you can, the better off you'll be. And you guys know how I feel about gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Love them, love them, love them. I also believe that, I don't want to say this yet because he's coming on to the show, but Andrew Henderson and the Nomad Capitalist is going to be on the show in January, which is going to be, Susie, you do not want to miss this. You do not want to miss this opportunity, because I think there's another class of tourism that you will be able to look at and explore and expand into that I think is super, super important. And that is the nomad capitalist area. So let's see in audio. Let's see. Mindset shift can be daunting, but you can make it as easy as you are willing to make it. It's interesting because the mindset shift happens naturally. It naturally happens as we infuse it. We infuse the computer into our world, and now we don't even think, oh my gosh, we can't live without it. And that took about 10, 15 years. That happened. We made the switch. It happened at that time. Then it got infused into society. Now what would happen is like, what, we don't need computers anymore. I mean, there'd be a lot of people that look at that way. And when we went from radio to television, it's the same thing. A mindset or consciousness is infused into society. And whether you're ready for the shift or not, the shift just happens naturally, happens right on time. It happens as we move through it. And that's what our future is going to be like. But right now, when Karen said, I used to keep paper files because I didn't trust the computer, this is where we are right now. People are scared that this computer is going to take all their jobs and blah, blah, blah. That never happened. But there were new opportunities for careers. There were new opportunities for work. We're going to see a lot of that coming up. So let's see. Wow, Vicky, this is you being the futurist. Thank you. It is brilliant projection, setting intentions. Thank you. I will get you. I will get the book. You will get the book. That's a great book to get. Your book. Yes, it is. Let's see. MJ says it's all about getting rid of certain limited beliefs. I agree with that too, because this is kind of a factor of everyone. Real entrepreneurs have possibility thinking just because they're entrepreneurs. And then they play that game. They get to the point where they like to see what's unfolding and invest in it and see how it's happening. A lot of it is good. A lot of it is for the good of humanity. I just don't think there's, maybe there's some nefarious acts that are being funded. I know there are, and it's unfortunate. But when blockchain gets here, those little hacks where Russia gets to decide that they're going to deny that they've hacked into this, you're not going to be able to do that with blockchain. Blockchain is going to go directly back to you and go, no, this back to you and go, no, this is where it came from, directly from this. There's not going to be any hiding from that. So the future, because of blockchain, you're going to see so much corruption die, so much fraud die, because you won't be able to do that with blockchain. The future has some exciting things that are going to happen that are going to make the world a better place for people who are really about honoring and achieving. So let's see. Vicky Helm is one of the greatest futurists in the world today. Oh, you're sweet. Thank you. We all included the coffee break viewers who can benefit from the talent. Thank you so much. It's about getting rid of certain limiting beliefs. I agree with that. I must have popped up one. Hi, Susie. Everybody wants to say hi. Hey, I'm sorry, Susie, just a minute. Ryan's back on. Hey, dude, nice to see you on. Really great to see you. I was thinking about you this morning, actually, Ryan. Looking at this here, do you have any feelings on real estate, whether our houses will be going up in value or going down? Any thoughts? Let me get my 8-ball out like this and look at it. It's interesting. The value of real estate going up and down, I think, depends on where you are right now. So the value of real estate in Denver is skyrocketing. In Boulder, it's skyrocketing. In San Francisco, it's declining. In New York, on Manhattan's Island, it's declining. I don't know how the pandemic is going to affect real estate right now, or a lot of things. One is because we now, this morning, have something new added to the mix of what's going to be around in the future. And that is, we now have vaccines. And so all the healthcare workers and all these people are going to get vaccines. We still have this huge rise in cases. We don't know how many people are going to live, and we don't know how many people are going to die. We don't know how many businesses are going to implode, and we don't know how many businesses are going to grow. There's a lot of factors. And I think the thing is, we want to look at markets right now. I think overall real estate, I just don't know. The pandemic, if it got worse, I think there would be a moratorium. We also have in the mix a new president, and we're not quite sure where he stands. We know where President Trump stands, but there could be a moratorium on mortgages and rents. And if you own a big apartment complex and you're maxed out with debt, because that's, you have your renters pay you, and that's how you pay the mortgages off, et cetera, you might see a bump in there. I'm not quite sure about that. I don't think the future in this country, we're headed for 2021. People are going to have to really make new plans. If we're waiting around, it's like you can either make a plan and succeed, or you can let the world tell you what's going to happen to you. And right now, when I take a look at the markets, I feel like there's absolutely something so odd. And I just talked to MJ about it yesterday. I was talking about, and I still do, how can we have GDP that's below 1928 numbers and have a skyrocketing stock market? How did those two things happen? We have this kind of GDP with a pandemic. So there's already some hinky things in there. Your value, your real estate, depending on where you are, that's really going to be the thing. And if people are piling into the country and rural areas right now, or they're leaving places in California like Silicon Valley so they can go home and work, you're going to go ahead and see the future of real estate in those areas fall. But Denver has been booming. Its rents are way too high. I mean, its rents are ridiculous. I think they're going to still be on the rise. I think people are leaving the coast and kind of coming in a little bit. So we'll see what's going to happen on the outside. But that's kind of my marginal forecast for real estate. Woohoo! Andrew Henderson from the Nomad Capitalist will be the guest in the new year. Susie, you don't want to miss this guy. You do not want to miss him. If you want to pick up the book Nomad Capitalist, it's really a great read. But it talks about a particular type of client that I think you might be interested in. This is true for me too. Hey, Ryan, it's great to see you here, buddy. Oh my gosh, you guys are just, no spoiler alerts for January guests. I'm sorry. Entrepreneurs are possibilitarians. Yes, they are. Let's see over here. Susie, you're making me feel a whole lot better than I have been about the future for America. I know, that's why I want to say it. We are told about this, dystopic future that's going to collapse, and it's going to be painful, and it's going to be, America has ridden through, in fact, the whole world has ridden through tougher times than what we're going to be going through. Do I see the dollar collapsing? Yeah, I might say that it is teetering. Right now, but I have a feeling it's not going to teeter overnight. There's still time for you to create the life that you want, have the things that you want. This whole thing about how everything is going to explode, we have to look at what is not going to explode. What is happening that people are doing right now? There are new assets being made to the tune of $25 trillion in new assets being created that you will create prosperity for you, that will create new careers for you, that will create new income sources for you that are passive. And we can take advantage of those right now. The technology is getting easier and easier and easier and easier. There is this hopeless thing in the thoughts of people around the world because the media of hopelessness has been in front of them more than the media of see how great some things are going to be. So we have some things that the thing that's going to change our future right now, the most important thing that's going to change our future right now is blockchain. Blockchain is going to disrupt everything, but it's going to disrupt those things that are corrupt. And that's going to make it easier for the people who are really actually doing something to do something, because you're not going to have to fight a lot of the corruption that you have in the past. And that's what makes it exciting to be in this new future. Okay, I get that we have $27 trillion in debt going on 28. I get that we have a really crappy pandemic that has just beat the crap out of our economy around the world. But I also know that we have ingenuity. I also know that we have visionary thinkers. I also know that this is a time that it's just like MJ said, for you to look at your belief systems and readjust them and see what else is there for you. Learn about those things that are going to help you. I want to pop here. Hope I live long enough to see that move towards utopia with blockchain. Well, I do see a lot of that happening. You honor me with your thoughts. Thank you, Ryan. That's so sweet. Thank you, Karen and Vicky. I used to put out a newsletter monthly called The Possibilitarian. Yes, I remember that. Oops. Wow. Oh my gosh, you guys. Brilliant. Let's see. Rents. Yes. Rents are over the top and not in alignment with the income levels of the people who lived and work there now. I agree with that. Look at this. This
is beautiful. I would love, that's a great, MJ, that's a book title. I'm telling you, if you don't take it, I may have to take that from you. Interesting times ahead. Normalcy redefined. That's what's happening right now. Normalcy redefined. And a lot of people don't like change. They like it to be the same, but this is going to happen with you or without you, but more so with you. And the change will be infused into your mindset over time. I've watched it happen hundreds and hundreds of times in industries, in philosophies. You know, I never thought, being a gay individual in the 70s, that I would ever see the time where I could get married. I mean, you just don't think that is. And do you know what a big belief change that was? A belief change that some people told me we should be killed and murdered for being gay in the 70s back then. And like this, the horrible things that they told us would happen. And now there's a musical on Netflix called Prom that stars, you know, all these big stars behind that. I mean, come on, it's so weird. The times have so changed, and we're looking at a different kind of normalcy redefined. I love that. Hey, Sean's here. I'm late, but better than ever. You know, I was watching your live last night. It was really cool to watch your path and everything else. That was a lot of work. It was really cute. You guys, if you haven't seen Sean's Christmas decorations, he's the man. He should be on TV with it. It should be like a dad show, how to make your beautiful Christmas lights. Go to his thing and he walks you through his Christmas decorations. They're just amazing. Let's see. I'm not sure who this vacant person is. I don't know if it might be Ryan. What about all the vacant corporate offices vacated due to COVID? Yes, that corporate real estate. Very good. This is a great insight. Will they go back up? How does that affect the real estate market? This is an interesting question. My guess is that all those empty malls, because everybody shopped online, and all those empty office buildings because everybody's working from home. Many companies right now are looking at the data and seeing that there's more productivity from people who work at home. There is also less overhead that they have to pay for because people are working from home. And what's interesting is maybe those office buildings will be turned into condos. I don't know. But I don't think they're going to ever come back and be super filled with people in offices and managers. I don't think we're moving into that old structure. I think we're moving into a new structure for work. Those people who do have jobs or home businesses, maybe there's going to be, maybe there's going to be a few offices. Like I still think, even though we're going to enjoy telehealth, there's going to be a dentist's office in a building that you could go to and get dental work done, or doctors, or I don't even think therapists. I think so many therapists are meeting their clients online. And I mean, not physical therapists or therapists like occupational therapists. I mean, good old master's degree psychotherapists where they meet online. So yeah, I think that is good. You guys both put the Nomad Capitalist book up. Thank you for doing that. They're so fastidious. Let's see. You guys going fast? Thank you, Vicki. Timing is always perfect, and I'm so glad I started watching your show. I've learned so much. I'm not as anxious as I could be. You are a good detector, is what I will say. Thank you about what's to unfold. Let's see. Great to see Sean enjoying life. Yeah, I do like that. That's thanks, ladies. I have a great time with it. Yes, you do. You did. It's really cool. You guys got to go to his and it's Sean Olson. Just go over to his Facebook page and he's got videos there. Life will always deal things that we label bad, but it's more important to focus on what amazing opportunities are presented. What miracles am I creating today? The future is about the person who wants to take
action and be empowered to have responsibility for their life, empowered to be responsible. Like, you're not going to believe this, but I want to tell you about a product. This is, I think, one of the most empowering products. And if you've gotten the book, Crypto Revolution, you want to read that book. Crypto Revolution is very important. But they have something that is called a crypto wallet. And one of them is called Ledger, a Ledger. And Ledger has a wallet that's an electronic wallet that is a Nano S. And they just came out with something called the Nano X. And what it allows you to do is to store your cryptocurrency offline so that you are your own bank. And it also lets you send and receive money without the intermediary of a bank or anyone. So if you want to buy the house, you get the smart contract from an ERC20 token, and you get that smart contract. There's the deals done. You could pay for the car, the house, the groceries, everything without any intermediary. You would be your own bank. You'd be in control of your own finances, which for me, that eliminates a lot of corruption right there, because there is sometimes where, some financial people, not all of them, like to make money by, there's churning, which is illegal to do, but they still do it. And or selling you things that you don't need, or selling things you don't understand, like that mortgage contracts. That's the thing that helped the subprime mortgage collapse in 2008, because people didn't know how to read the contract. They just trusted the person selling them the product. Now it's like, hi, the world is trustless going into the future. You will see it, know it, and it'll be factual. It won't be written in some hinky way that you can't read. There are a lot of things in the future that are going to help you have prosperity in a healthy way. No more unhealthy prosperity. You guys, I don't know that I can get to all your comments. I'm going to pop through and pull a couple out here that I think are great, because we're already over, and the show is only, supposed to be 30 minutes. So, yep. Here we go. Yep. A therapist, even OT and PT and psychotherapists are online now. Everybody's online. So our future, I think, is going to be the home-based business. I'm waiting for OB-GYNs to do online appointments. Yeah, who knows? That could happen. So what I want to say is, the future isn't always this dragon. And now I'm not going to say it's 100% perfect or beautiful. But lastly, I want to talk about the medical miracles that are happening right now, not with the vaccine, not with the shots. I'm talking about the medical miracles that are going to help Alzheimer's disease. I'm talking about the medical miracles that are going to help aging slow down, and that we're going to have quality of life for longer. I'm talking about the medical miracles where people are looking at how to create wellness through food and not wellness through pharmacopoeia. We have a completely different world coming. And maybe some of it is scary. Like, I don't like the idea of having to have a shot. It's mandated for every person, or I can't get on an airplane unless I buy my own airplane and have unless I have that card or buy my own airplane. I don't like that kind of future. And I know we probably have some of those things that are going to arise that we are going to have to choose and be discerning about. But I do know this. I do know the world isn't as bad as people are speculating and scaring you with. I know that we have people right now, just like they did working on this vaccine, working on helping us thrive in the future. Yesterday, we talked about creating an ecosystem where everything builds on itself and you become like your own forest, where you are constantly regenerating those things that you want to have in your life. And Wednesday, we are not going to have a Wednesday welcome guest because this is the last week of the season. So I'll be the Wednesday welcome guest. And we're going to continue this conversation about 2021. I think it'd be really great if you got my book, that is up in the link, the Smart Choices book. I love this. Energy in residence medicine provides exciting opportunities. It does. We're going to see miracles happen. Yes, there's going to be probably some mayhem, but there's going to be more miracles than there is going to be mayhem. The thing about it is, when there's miracles, it doesn't hit the news. Only mayhem hits the news. You're going to have to allow yourself to listen to both sides. You're going to have to allow yourself to listen and understand that there are some things happening that can be very painful. Like, I still think we're going to see supply chain shortages in food and things like that. And I think everybody should have a garden. And I also think part of empowering yourself is to be able to grow your own food. And I think the future is also going to have medical miracles, income miracles, and we are going to meet those with love and kindness and continue talking about them. Tomorrow, we're going to continue this conversation as to how to create 2020 and 21 and make it the best year ever. For now, thank you for joining me. That's a Coffee Break Show. Mwah! All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Make it a great